Hello and welcome to Week 15 of Electric Football. 1-5. That's right. And here we are back again, hoping to help you navigate the dirty waters of the NFL Pick'ems.
Don't want to brag too much, but Electric Football was given quite the honor when we showed up on the Final Jeopardy. Stu, do we have that clip?
We do, and here it is. Look at that. It's going to be in the corner or on top of us.
Okay. All right, so let's move forward to the games. The Bengals at the Eagles is the Thursday game. If there's a god of inconsistency, Squirrelos, the god of inconsistency, then the Bengals worship him because every time I think they've turned the corner, every time I think they're a consistently good team, they blow one. They did that this week. The Eagles may have something in Bryce Brown and Nick Foles. They're trying to figure that out.
Yep.
They're playing for pride. They're at home, maybe national TV. Maybe they're trying to send Andy Reid off into retirement in a nice way. So I'm going to take the Eagles.
Okay. Eagles are actually showing signs of life. And I think, they're playing hard for Andy. And, since he looked like they gave up in the fourth quarter. And, yeah, I'm taking the Eagles, too. Suddenly a breath of life and maybe a little confidence in the team, and then going, Cincinnati's, nobody. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
There you go.
Excuse me.
Both of us are fighting a cold, so bear with us if my nose starts running or Stuart vomits. We're going to move on to the Green Bay at the Bears. The Packers could wrest control of this division right here, right now. It's in Chicago, which is about the Bears' only hope. They're coming off a bunch of devastating injuries, and I don't see a way that Aaron Rodgers doesn't win this game. He pretty much takes the pack on his back and carries them. Yeah. And if I had told you that they were going to beat the Lions without him throwing a touchdown pass last week, would you have believed it? But they did. So give me Aaron Rodgers to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, did I call the Bears or what last week? Cutler stinks. And Ryan Grant looks to be healthy again. They used him a little last night just to make sure that he can run, and I think he'll be a factor going forward. Their running game produced over 100 yards, and that gives enough time for Aaron Rodgers to do the play-action passing, and it was snowing, and it was cool. Taking the pack this week.
That was a good-looking game.
I love it.
So we got the Colts at the Texans, and we're doing this on a Monday night, so we have not seen the big Patriots-Texans game.
Right.
That could change a lot in this game. I am a big believer in the Texans. I think they're the most consistent team on both sides of the ball, and I will take the Texans to beat Andrew Luck, especially since they are at home.
Yeah, and they're looking to separate from Indianapolis in this game. Indy at this point is only 2.5 games, so depending on tonight's outcome, could be 2 games behind, and they got to play them twice. So it's an important game. I don't see that the Texans are going to roll over them because Indianapolis is starting to play well. But Houston has too many good guys versus Indianapolis right now. I'm taking Houston.
You know what's almost hard to remember is how bad Indianapolis was last year with guys like Curtis Painter.
Yeah.
It is amazing what Andrew Luck has done, but he's running into a tough team,
yep.
And they're going to be at home. The Colts will be on the road.
Yeah,
so.
If this were in Indianapolis, I think it's a closer game.
There you go. Now we move on to the Broncos at the Ravens, and the Ravens have joined up in the new trend of the NFL. That's bird-themed teams firing coordinators.
Yeah.
Cam Cameron was shown the door. Oh, Cam, there's over there. Yeah. Door. Don't let it hit you.
What was that call you just made? Oh, you fired yourself.
Oh, why don't we give the ball to Ray Rice late in games?
I don't know.
Bye-bye, Cam Cameron. Good luck. Hello, Peyton. You're coming into Baltimore. The Ravens really are reeling. I don't like the idea of firing a guy late in the season like that. I don't think a team can continue with unity if you're doing that. So I'm going to keep riding the Broncos, and I'm going to take them to win over the flailing Ravens.
Yeah,
my wing is broken Ravens.
Flacco's starting to play really poorly, and without Suggs and Lewis on defense, it's a different team, and you can see it when they're playing. This should be a great game, but Flacco, I don't know, he's been making some poor decisions, and he's been turning the ball over too much, and you can't do that with Peyton Manning. If you give the ball to Peyton on the 30 and the 40, you're setting yourself up for disaster. I'm actually taking the Broncos.
Okay. Jaguars at the Dolphins. Florida fight! Sorry, I've just got a thing going there. Anyway, Miami lost, as Stu knows, to a very good 49ers team. The Jags lost to a really bad Jets team. The Jags do what bad teams do, which is you've got the ball deep in their territory early in the game. It's 3rd and 1, and you throw a pass that gets intercepted by a slow linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
That's why bad teams stay bad teams.
That's Chad Henne.
So yes, and he comes into Miami where he doesn't
Win.
Doesn't exactly have a great history. I'm not taking him to win. I'm taking Miami to win this game.
Yeah, even though last week I said whatever you do, don't take Miami the rest of the year, this might be a game you want to take him. Chad Henne is just as bad as he was when he was with Miami. The Jaguars, they're looking to leave to Los Angeles. Will be the least watched game on national television. There'll be one viewer, I can guarantee you. This idiot will be watching it. But I'm taking Miami this week. Even though I said not to the rest of the year.
He's contradicting himself, folks. Redskins at the Browns, and a lot of this is going to come down to RG3's health.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone wants to go with Cousins, in this game. But
it was a great last drive, though.
Yes,
it was 2 plays, but that was it.
Credit given. But you don't want him for a full game. The Browns won over an emotionally reeling Chiefs team. They did give up a huge first run to Jamal Charles, but after that, the Browns...
Which killed me in fantasy.
But after that, the Browns controlled the game. And the Browns really are a much better team than people are giving them credit for. So I'm going to take what I assume is an upset here. I'm going to take the Browns. I am wearing the old Spielman jersey. And if you haven't seen it in NFL Life or Football Life, Chris Spielman, you can see it on YouTube. It's amazing.
Don't go cross-selling other shows on our show.
Sorry.
Come on. Just watch Electric Football.
And then watch the Spielman thing.
I've been rooting for Cleveland all year. I like them. They're scrappy. I love Trent Richardson. I think he's going to be a great back. They're really, on defense, a player or two away from being a very good defense. If RG3's in, though, I'm taking Washington. They're on that roll. They can taste the playoffs. I think they can do it if he's playing. If he's out, and you should, not make your pick until Saturday. If he's out, I'm going Cleveland all the way.
Okay. So then we have my Vikes at the Rams. And I'd like to see Adrian Peterson get about 54 carries this week.
MVP.
He's at 1,600 yards on the nose. He's got an outside chance at breaking Eric Dickerson's record. I think he needs something like 165, 66 yards a game for the next 3 games to do it.
That won't be
and
easy.
He's actually capable of it.
Oh, he is.
Somebody is going to lose the Packer-Bear game, and if the Vikes can pull this off, we're in the playoff hunt. So maybe this is one with the heart and not with the head, but I'm taking the Vikes.
Yeah, this is a game, these teams are pretty evenly matched, and it's actually going to be a good game to watch, even though there's really no, playoff contention going on with these two teams.
Just a little bit of playoff contention going off.
I wouldn't worry about it. But they're evenly matched. I think both offenses and defenses are close, but I think the Vikings just have a little bit more on offense, and his name is Adrian Peterson. I'm taking the Vikings because I've been riding them even though he hasn't all year, and they've been winning games that they should, and they've been winning games they shouldn't.
Okay. Buccaneers at the Saints, and the Bucs couldn't stop Nick Foles late in the game. The Saints couldn't stop David Wilson at all. That may have been a coming out party for David Wilson.
They're calling him Flip Wilson, which is hilarious.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But early in the preseason, Giants fans were telling me, this guy's amazing. They were making comparisons to Barry Sanders. Yep. Then he had a fumble, found himself in sort of the doghouse, and Tom Coughlin's doghouse is big.
He's an idiot sometimes.
But, this is an important thing for to recognize that the Saints couldn't stop him, and then to recognize that the Bucs have, Doug Martin. So I'm taking the Bucs to win this. A very disappointing loss for them last week, but I think the Saints have had a more disappointing season, and I think they're ready to toss it in.
Yeah, but I think they're going to play spoiler the rest of the year now. They're out. There's no way they're going to make the playoffs. Tampa has life support on right now, and they need to win. But yeah, really. But all this commotion from Bounty Gate really did take its effect on New Orleans, and if they weren't home, I'd say take Tampa Bay. But at home, after this disappointing as hell performance against the Giants the other day, I'm taking the Saints here.
Okay. Speaking of the Giants, we have the Giants at the Falcons. And the Falcons laid an egg last week. Eli Manning is the exact polar opposite of Cam Newton, though, so I don't know how much you can extrapolate. Ooh, nice word. From that loss. But both the Cowboys and the Redskins have kept the pressure on the Giants. The Giants have a horrifically hard road to win out, but they have their destiny in their hand. And, Hakeem Nicks is back and seemingly at full strength. I'm taking the Giants to beat the Birds. Yeah. Once again, I don't think the Birds are that impressive. Nobody I know is impressed by the Falcons' record.
And the Giants have been through this a bunch of times in the last few years. They know how to play football in December and going into January, and Atlanta's not used to it. Matt Ryan's production has dipped from the really hot start that he had in the beginning of the year, but they're not a playoff battle-tested team, and I just think the Giants are. They're ready to go, and if they thrash New Orleans, I think they're going to, well, they're not going to thrash them, they're on the road, but I think they're going to do some damage to the Falcons here. It's also, some home field advantage and seeding going on here, too. It's going to be a good game.
All right. So Seahawks at the Bills, and if you've ever seen, somebody doing the falconry thing where a falcon just comes down and just destroys another bird, that's what the Seahawks did to the Cardinals last week. A lot of the attention goes on the offensive side. Maybe that's a fantasy bias. I don't know. But, a lot of talk about Russell Wilson, a lot of talk about Marshawn Lynch. But that Seattle defense is not getting the credit that it deserves. They are frenetic. They are fast. They get after the quarterback, and they caused a lot of turnovers. So I don't see a way that the Bills can win this one. I know the Bills are at home. I know the Seahawks don't travel well. But my money is on the Seahawks to take this one fairly easily.
It must be opposite day here because Seattle travels poorly. Miami beat them. And Buffalo has better offensive players on paper than Miami does. It's going to be cold. It's going to be wet in Buffalo. Not that it's never cold and wet in Seattle, but it's different. It's lake effect cold and wet, not ocean effect. So it's all different. But I'm taking the Bills.
For meteorological reasons, Stu is taking the Bills.
That's right.
And a Bill can beat a Seahawk anyway.
Panthers at the Chargers. Two teams that pulled off shockers last week. Two teams with really cocky quarterbacks that need to prove something going into the end of this year. My money is on Cam Newton to win this game. I think he's just got more tools with the ability to run and pass. And, the Chargers, I think they had their moment last week, surprising moment last week, but I don't see it being repeated this week. I actually think the Panthers are a more talented team overall. They've been disappointing this season, but I think they take this one.
I'm taking the Chargers. I think they're just a better team all around personnel-wise. It's still Norv Turner coaching them, so God knows what can happen on a Sunday with Norv. But I don't trust Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers to be able to put together pretty impressive weeks. And they're traveling, almost 3,000 miles to the sunny shores of San Diego. And I'm also going to depend on the meteorological Chargers.
Okay. So now we move on to the Lions at the Arizona Cardinals. And from 4-0 to 4-10 is the way the Cardinals are heading. There just isn't a pro quarterback in Arizona right now. It's amazing to see the turnovers. It's amazing to see the sloppy play. Ken Wisenhunt has to be wondering what the hell happened to the team that beat New England early in the season. Stafford's a much better player than anything the Cardinals have since Kurt Warner on their team. And, Calvin Johnson is on a record pace himself, talking about, offensive weapons. Sure, Detroit lost to the Packers. Detroit has been underwhelming this season, but there's no reason to believe that they're going to lose to just an absolutely horrific Cardinals team.
Oh, I think Seattle just scored again on Arizona.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it was. Oh, my God. And then they're letting, Matt Flynn in the end of the game chuck the ball. Well, we wanted to see. I hate Pete Carroll. We wanted to see how he could throw. You're up 50-0, you moron. Oh my God, I can't stand him. Anyway, the Cardinals are done. The Lions have way too much talent on this team to lose to this Cardinal team. And if they do lose to Arizona, I would expect Jim Schwartz to be shown the door. I'm taking the Lions.
The middle of the Detroit defensive line is just going to be up in the Cardinals' grill all
I didn't realize
day.
how big Fairley is. Fairley makes Sue look like a child.
Fairley,
that guy's just... fairly huge.
Yeah, those are the best two defensive tackles.
Oh.
If I could have those two defensive tackles on my team, I would never, ever worry about
He
the run.
swallowed Rodgers last night.
And they both have 5.5 sacks.
Yeah.
I think they're second and third for defensive tackles with sacks. They're
Amazing.
They're amazing.
Yeah. Chiefs Raiders.
Chiefs Raiders. There's an ugly game.
Oh.
The Chiefs had one play on offense last week, and then they went home.
Yeah.
We both expected the emotional letdown from the Javon Belcher incident to get to them, and it seemed that it really did. The Chiefs have one weapon on their team. It's Jamal Charles. The Raiders didn't put up much of a fight against the Broncos, but they are at home. They have the long rest. They have less emotional baggage to deal with. And Carson Palmer is a solid game-managing quarterback at this point in his career, so I'll take the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders. Neither of these teams have any identity whatsoever. And we said it. The Chiefs are going to fall down after that very emotional win. And what's there to say about this game? No one is going to be watching it in the NFL. I don't even think the wives and girlfriends are going to be tuning into this. I'm taking the Raiders because their cheerleaders are so fine.
Okay. Steelers at the Cowboys, and the Cowboys just refuse to die. It's amazing how they can't get all of their wide receivers hot at the same time. First game of the season, you had Ogletree, then Miles Austin, then Des Bryant, but they can't get them all together at the same time. But they are healthy. They're getting DeMarco Murray back. Romo is playing like Romo does in the regular season, pretty solid. I am going to take the Cowboys to win this one. I was surprised that the Steelers did not do better last week with Big Ben back. Alliteration.
Wow.
And I think that the Cowboys sense that they're nipping at the Giants' heels, and I believe they will win this game.
Nipping at your heels. Staubach, Aikman, Terry Bradshaw, Bubby Brister. Well, none of those guys are playing in this game. I don't know. Those names came to me. I think Dallas now wins one at home for their fallen brother. And, after an emotional win and an incredible comeback win against Cincinnati, I think only will be brought home, and the crowd's going to be going crazy. And I think that the Cowboys win just based on pure raw emotion at home.
Just amazing, though, how many, each week there's a tragedy.
This is an awful year.
And, a completely avoidable one in that they have programs set up for the players to get rides home. So hopefully the players will start doing that. I mean, I understand you're young. I understand you're huge. I understand you think you're indestructible. But there's no harm in making that phone call and getting a ride home so that you all get home alive.
It's a shame.
San Francisco at the Patriots. Boy, you couldn't give the Patriots a tougher 2 weeks.
Really?
At least they're getting them at home, but they're going up against two amazingly physical teams. We don't know what's going to happen tonight, but
Patriots will win.
And Stuart's been right all last week. Just crumpled up and throw out mine and listen to Stu's. I was horrible last week. Hopefully, we're going to turn that around. I'm taking San Francisco. I like their physicality. I think their ability to run the ball on the Patriots is going to shine through. I think that the Patriots have been hurt in key spots on the offensive side of things, Gronkowski and Edelman. I think that hurts them more than you would think. I don't believe in the Patriots' defense. I know it exists, but I don't believe it's going to stop the 49ers and Frank Gore. So give me the Kaepernicks in this one.
How come New England gets all the tough games at home? Because the NFL frickin' loves them. I don't know what it is. I'm so sick of it. Yes, they're a good team, and they got the smartest coach I think that's ever coached a game, even when he cheats. And I think Brady's an incredible quarterback. This is not an angry Dolphin fan hating the Patriots. I don't hate them. I envy them. I wish that was my team. And if I could slap this tattoo off my... No, I wouldn't do that. But anyway, they're getting the game at home. And I think San Francisco is going to find out firsthand what it's like to get on the road to the Super Bowl as New England tromps them this week as well at home. Two tough games, but they're both at home. Just not right.
I don't know if we have any Homeland fans out there, but I'm sitting next to a cray carry.
Colin Kalikimaka is the wine way.
Wowza. All right, well, that was our singing for the week. We've been doing a lot of singing this season.
And no one's called us.
Let's finish the week up with the Jets at the Titans. And if you want to do sort of crazy conspiracy theories, look at the last 5 games the Jets have. boy, you could not have an easier path to the playoffs than what they've been given. And if they do run the table and make it to the playoffs, I actually think it's going to set the team back. I know that sounds...
yeah, because they'll keep everybody.
Right, exactly.
Let's hope that happens.
And I think keeping everybody would be a huge mistake for the Jets right now. They might think that, if only we had Santonio Holmes. They're not very good. They need to make massive changes both in the front office and with player personnel. So I know Jet fans out there believe they can run the table. They literally can. It's only because it's lined up perfectly for them with just crap team after crap team. But I think the Titans are good enough to beat them. I think the Titans at home. I mean, you cannot be impressed by what the Jets offense did against the Cardinals. You cannot be impressed by what the Jets offense did against the Jags. And I think the Titans are the better team of those three. So give me Tennessee at home.
Wow, I really thought you were going to take the Jets after all that. I think by the beginning of the second quarter, Chucky and Tirico are going to be talking about the stuff they did in Nashville this week, because this is going to be a terrible Monday Night Football affair for them. I think the new Titans beat the old Titans just because I think they have the better weaponry as well. I don't care what the Jets did this week. They're not a good team, and Tony Sparano is going to find some way on the road to make that dare happen where we don't score and stuff. And look at the ass you just ran into. Good play. Go back in, you dumbass.
Okay, folks. So that was Electric Football. I'm Steve Brown.
I'm Stu Pace. Tune in next week when we answer the question, why are you guys still doing this?
Oh, and thank you to the 10 new subscribers we picked up last week. There's a subscribe button somewhere out here. Please click it.
And Skip Trivigino, big fan of ours. He's a Cosmos Club member, spreading the wealth. So is my friend Terry Deep. I call him TDP. He knows who he is. Thanks for watching, fellas. We do appreciate it.
All right, we're out.
See you.